Okay, coming up next is Brawling News number 140. It's an all MMA edition of Brawling News. We're going to start off with Vincent McMahon got a hold of Dana White and said, hey, why don't we bake brownies together over at WWE pay-per-view? And that's when everything went to hell in a handbasket with that idea. And then we're going to go over to Levar Johnson. He tested positive for something really bad after UFC 157. After UFC 158, Nick Diaz said something incredibly stupid to reporters. And Rhonda Rousey is going to be coaching the next season of Ultimate Fighter with 6 boys and 6 girls living in a house together for 4 months. Oh, what could go wrong? All that and more coming right up. Here at Alternate Reality, less is always more, because all new comics are always 15% off here at Alternate Reality. Every day for everyone. Unlike other stores, I have knocked 15% off the cover price of every new comic that's ever walked out the door here, going all the way back to when I first opened in 1994. So why shop anywhere else when you can come down here and save 15% off every day for everyone at Alternate Reality?
It used to be Frightened Wrestling. Now it's all just Brawling News. Whatever.
Defy the natural order. Embrace a thoroughly synthetic experience. Brawling News, episode 140, Mark of Kid Skid.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. Bo!
Yes?
What time is it?
It's brawling time.
Brawling time. Coming in from this place, Alternate Reality, located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. Bo!
Yeah.
This is an all MMA edition of Brawling News.
What's WWE involved?
And we are going to start off our first story with a WWE story, sort of, which brings us right into MMA, though. And that involves Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the Vince McMahon, wanted to get into a fight with Dana White on a pay-per-view, which is brilliant because Vince is old and just had his hip replaced, but he wants to get into a fight with Dana White.
This was either
Vince, Dana White actually fights people.
Well, actually, Dana used to be a boxer.
Well, he actually fights people.
And he trains. He's in much better shape.
I mean, I love wrestling, but that's real stuff.
Yeah, for some reason, Vince and Dana actually talk a lot for people who are in competition with each other.
Yeah.
And Vince once challenged Dana to a fight that would either take place in either a WWE or a UFC pay-per-view.
Okay.
Now, Dana went, Vince, you're too old for me to beat the crap out of you, so I'm not going to do this. However, Chael Sonnen this week on Twitter went,
I'd be happy to.
Chael Sonnen went, what? What? Vince, he'd kick your ass. You know.
Sounds like one of those, I'll run away.
But he said, but Chael came up with the ultimate card. He says, look, me and Dana White versus you and Triple H. WrestleMania.
And
Vince hasn't answered because Vince McMahon has a Twitter account and he's never posted a damn thing.
wow.
But it's like, why do you have a Twitter account if you never posted?
Well, if I'm Dana White, why do I want to fight Vince McMahon in the first place? I mean, really, Vince has everything to gain, and Dana White has everything to lose.
But Dana White once challenged Tito Ortiz to a fist fight, so you know, Dana's
but that's within MMA.
Yeah,
that's within MMA. I mean,
this
as much of a dream card as that would be Vince and Triple H versus
Chael Sonnen and Dana.
As much of a dream card that would be, it'd have to be a WrestleMania dream card. Okay, at which point you're bringing in them from the MMA, and they're slumming. And I like wrestling. I've made no secret of the fact that I like wrestling more than MMA here on the Video Outhouse, but it would be slumming on their part. It really would.
How seriously could you really take it?
I feel
like I was
it would be a work fight anyway.
It would be a work. I mean, and the whole point behind MMA is it's real. So what? Dana White's going to come over and you know, do a face or a heel thing with Vince. And
this isn't an MMA fight. This is a fight.
And he's going to take falls and crap. It's like,
hit him with a chair, all that fun stuff.
It's not going to happen.
Well, that's why Dana said no.
Moving on, Levar Johnson, of all things, tested positive for steroids after UFC 157. I think that's not allowed, right?
It's not allowed. So
okay.
So the California State Athletic Commission suspended him for 9 months, and UFC went, that's cool, you're fired.
How come nobody tests
well,
positive?
there you go.
How come nobody tests positive for powdered sugar? Nobody ever does that.
Because they don't eat powdered sugar until after the fights.
Well, it's because they
Steroids,
snort. It's because they snort powdered sugar.
You know, MMA fighters either get busted for steroids or weed, you know, or testosterone. Basically, it was steroids and an artificial raising of his testosterone. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
So you know, UFC said we got to get rid of some fighters anyway. You're suspended for 9 months. Get the hell out of here.
An opportunity.
It's not as if you're like a top 10 heavyweight anyway. Bye.
Speaking of another mental genius, after his loss to Georges St. Pierre in UFC 148, Nick Diaz, or 158, I'm sorry, 158. Nick Diaz got in front of the press, and Nick Diaz said, of all things...
After all UFC cards, there's always a press conference.
Yeah.
People sit out there afterwards. Nick didn't want to do it. He lost to GSP, but he said he'd never paid taxes in his life. And Dana White looked at him like, what? His manager, Cesar Gracie, a day later said, that's not true. Nick has paid over $100,000
Do not audit
in
us.
taxes
Please
for the
don't
last
audit
2
us.
Oh, I think
years.
that ship has sailed.
I've sent him to accountants. He's paid taxes. That is not
Oh,
true.
it was a joke, right? It
wasn't a
Oh,
joke. No. The thing you notice
The
about
man's a
Nick,
dope.
Well, we'll find out.
the thing about Nick and Nate Diaz is they're not entertaining because of their fights. Although the fights are entertaining, they're entertaining because you never know what the hell they're gonna say. The Diaz brothers are freaking nuts.
There's some things in this life you don't say. You don't go to a funeral and start cracking jokes about the dead guy. You don't go into the wrong neighborhood and start talking about the people in that neighborhood when you don't belong in that neighborhood. And you don't start making jokes about how you never paid any taxes because the IRS has ears everywhere. And they're
TV.
Yes, it's
looking
on TV.
they're
On
looking
TV.
for people to make examples of to scare everyone else into making sure they pay their taxes.
So, but Nick paid taxes. We don't know why he said he paid taxes.
well, not
We'll
very
find
bright.
out.
Well, even if he didn't, he'll do if he didn't, he'll do a Willie Nelson. He'll go, how much do I owe you? Here's your money.
Okay. And the last story is Rhonda Rousey is going to be the coach of the next season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes, you're gonna have the next season, season 13. We'll have Rhonda Rousey and the winner of the Maisha Tate Kat Zingano.
What are you saying?
Maisha Tate.
The what? Who? Where?
Maisha Tate
Yeah, what's she
is going to
doing?
be fighting Kat Zingano
Okay.
at the Ultimate Fighter season finale. The winner
This
of
is
that
what happens
fight,
when you're 3/4 of the way through your last show of 8.
the winner
The
of that
mouth
fight,
breaks down.
along with Ronda Rousey, will coach the next season of the Ultimate Fighter.
Actually, this part breaks down first,
What-
and then this part.
If you were
goes
here, you
down.
could smell the smoke.
What will be interesting about this is for the first time, you will have 135-pound male and 135-pound female fighters fighting on the show and living in the same house.
Each other.
They'll all be living in the same house.
Is it going to be a mixed card, or are the boys going to fight the boys and the girls going to fight the girls?
Well, since you've got two female coaches, the female coaches are going to train male fighters. They're going to train female fighters. The weird thing is the weird thing first is you've got two female coaches. The other weird thing is they're going to be living in the same house. These guys are in a house.
Yes.
They do these seasons for like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
They don't have any contact with the outside world aside from going back and forth towards training. They don't get to talk to their families. They don't get to talk to their wives.
Right.
And so you've got this really big ass house.
But I'm hanging out with this broad.
6 guys and 6 women living in it. There's going to be trouble.
Okay. There's something to look forward to. And that's it. We're done. Finish out of here. Got no more time for Brawlin' News. Go to the store's website, though. Check out all the Brawlin' News this man sends me that I post up there. Bo!
Yeah.
Tell him where to go!
He is so violent. Sarah, tell him to calm down.
www.myalternatereality.com. The last best place for genuine hostility.
So go to the store's website. Check out all his news. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And I want to live in that house with those 6... Bow! Thanks, Dave.
Saying bye!
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.